Nomad has come out with a cruise collection, and I am so in love. Okay, hi everyone. So this is the Nomad. This is my video, I guess, for the Nomad cruise collection. I do have everything from the collection that kindly was sent to me by the brand. I'm missing the other highlighter right now, but I will find that eventually. I'm not trying those out at this current moment, but in the video later on, we will be trying that out. Massive thank you to Nomad for sending this to me. You can use my non-affiliated code Maddie to save you, I think, 10% off. So thank you if you do. I'm just so thankful that they did send this to me. Honestly, like, I guess I could tell you, like, the backstory of the situation. So I had purchased their palette on Blanky, but it was their, like, more Valentine's-y palette, and they had noticed that one of the shades looked a little, like, damaged. Like, it wasn't, like, horrible. I was able to, like, fix it. They offered to send me a new one, or if I wanted the new collection, I was like, okay, I would love the new collection. And shockingly, I did not expect them to send me both palettes. You will also notice I am kind of late in the game with that, so it does appear that my package was stolen, which is kind of horrible. So they did send me the new palettes once it got restocked, and they also threw in the highlighters, which, I mean, like, seriously, so nice. Just hands down, really good. So even with that, like, if you're considering trying something out from Nomad, like, clearly, like, I appreciate that they want to take care of their, like, customer base. So I think that is super awesome, especially something like my size of, like, I'm not, like, a big, you know, anything. So, like, the fact that even with that, like, they wanted to is just seriously so nice. But now that is out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the collection, pricing, all of that. So the biggest thing about this collection that I'm so excited about is how affordable it is. Mainly, I'm going to say the palettes themselves are affordable. The highlighters are not horrible. They're probably more of a standard price, I would say, of highlighter prices. I do have the one here, which is the Sunrise Cruise, and this is kind of your more purpley one. I am wearing it today. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but as I just said, we will be trying out both later on in the video. I wanted to, though, talk about the palettes within themselves. It is something that the brand did speak about, and I think is just so cool, as I feel like I'm happy that they kind of paid attention into that things just seem to be getting more expensive, and that at times people are wanting a bit more affordability, and they were somehow able to do this with this collection. So each palette is $39, which for, like, the current world is so cheap. Not so cheap, but a lot more affordable. So each palette does come with 15 shades. Each palette is only $39. So you get a full matte palette, and then you can also purchase the full shimmer palette. They are fully magnetic. These feel like such good quality. I've, like, not fully used it, so hopefully you can see, but there's some really... They did kind of, like, their imprint into the palette, and it's just, I didn't want to mess it up because it's, like, so pretty, but of course I wanted to play. But I'm so happy that they were able to do this with these two palettes. They have spoken about in the future creating some more, not all going to be magnetic, but kind of doing both, which I think is really smart. So you're able to kind of make everybody happy, and you're able to kind of, as a customer, pick and choose. If you want magnetic, you can do that. If you want what they curate, you could do that. Of course, you could still do both. I'm probably going to do both because I just love. I'm really in love with this collection. Let's go ahead and jump into this first look. With how these palettes, or like how the colors are laid out in the palette, I really kind of like the simplicity of it, and that's kind of what I did with today's look. So we're going to be focusing on this side right here, which I feel like is a bit kind of rosier. I hope. I'm only taking that based on the fact that one of the shades is called Harbor Rose. If you're new to my channel, your girl is colorblind. I'm just going to take a pencil brush. I'm, like, kind of colorblind to certain shades. I just didn't know very well, but I really wanted to do something kind of pinky. Now, mind you, the mattes in here, there's not really, like, pink shades per se. I'm thinking I'll create something with some of the more vibrant pinks later, with some of the blues or greens, I'm thinking. But I still really like what we did on this side, so I'm going to show you how I created that. But just building up Evening Horizon, if I did not say. And then next we'll be jumping in with Harbor Rose. I think one of my favorite things, especially about having shades in these columns, is that creating a look is, for one, super easy, but for two, it makes it like the shades blend so seamlessly. So I think that if you're like new to makeup, or if you always kind of struggle with looks, I really like that because there's basically 5 looks already kind of built in. And then what is nice is that you have colors that I would say are pretty, I don't want to say simple, but they're, I think somebody else said muted, which in a way I could definitely see that. It's kind of a softer muted palette. So what's nice is that a lot of these colors can be interchanged. You will see, I will already have a short up, so if you have not seen that, please check it out, where you're able to see how I think I did that with the greens and the blues, and was able to interchange them a bit. And so for one, create something like super fun, and honestly I would say decently bold, even with more kind of muted shades, but still really, really pretty. I literally got so many compliments on that look. I was kind of shocked. I think it just shows what a great palette this is. And hopefully you're able to see just really how easily everything is blending. I mean, it's taking me like seconds as we were talking, and I really love that. And then lastly, we're just going to take the shade First Light, same within our column. I'm just going to use the same brush just to soften. Alright, just like that, mattes are laid down, super simple, and now we get to jump into, I'm gonna say, is probably the more crowd favorite of the two palettes, which is the shimmer. I'm not usually a big fan of like an all shimmer palette, but I think having this like duo kind of situation and the fact that you can remove them is like so genius. For one, I mean, just looking at the amount of shades, I mean, it's just, I did not expect to feel so inspired, but I do, and I really, because even, I mean, I already wiped it off, but you can still see some of the stainage. I kind of just, I feel like, go through this palette, be like, oh, let's try this shade, swatch it out, and then be like, ooh, okay, and then we build what I think is something, for one, unique, but also really fun. So, I'm gonna start off with Celestial Giant here, Glint, my bad, Celestial Glint, so pretty. I still do not understand how they were able to get such good formulas with, I feel honestly, really inexpensive pricing. The fact that this whole palette is only $39 is crazy. It's $39, it's magnetic. I mean, wow. Just wow. Kudos, I would say, to Nomad for honestly, like, in a time period where things are getting more and more expensive, somehow they were able to do this and just create something just so good. And you can already see, I mean, if you wanted a more smoky look, just this all over the lid and you're done. I love that. But because we're going to be a bit more creative, we're going to go ahead and next take Golden Hour. Ooh, I think that has like a flip. Just taking my finger. I'm just going to press that kind of in the center. We might have to go over with the darker shade because I did have to do that on the other side. But just even, this is just such, oof. I mean, the name Golden Hour is so perfect for this. It just gives me sunsetty, I guess, kind of that golden hour kind of vibe. Love. Okay, I am going to take a teeny bit more of Celestial Glint just to get that deepness back in there. I feel like this is also your moment that, like, if you're not used to mixing other different, like, shimmer colors together, like, to try it out and do it, I really feel like shimmers blend together so much more effortlessly than mattes, so definitely also try that if you have not. And then lastly, I'm gonna take Shimmering Pearl. You can just see how, I feel like it just looks so smooth on the finger. There's something about it that just, I don't know, I love it. It's different and it's so pretty. Alright, and here is the end of this look. I think it's like so pretty. Literally, it's so pretty. I'm loving these palettes so much. Let's go ahead and move on to our next look. So the first highlight we're going to be using is the Sunset Cruise. So this is the more kind of a goldy of the two. Actually, I'm really happy that they did decide to do two options because I really do feel like it can cover a lot more people, which is awesome. So for me personally, I'm going to stick with this quadrant and maybe the center. Well, the outer area is just a bit more bronzy. So I'm going to kind of take just a fluffy brush. Let's just see what we can get. This one really is just giving, I like that it gives like a really nice glow, but because it is a more, I guess you'd say close to skin tone shade, it really just gives that kind of glow from within kind of look. And I really like that. This is this one. Let me know what you think of this one, and let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So for our second look, I really want to do something blue. I really wanted to play with the pinks, so that's what we did today. So I'm starting off with open water. Just taking a pencil brush, I'm going to start running that underneath the eye, and basically I'm just going to fill in my entire outer corner. I know I didn't mention it in the first look, and just in case you are new to my channel, how I usually do my eyeshadow placement. It is very similar to how other people do, but I think this is just a way that has worked for me and might be helpful for you. So I divide my eyes up into thirds. So you have your main colored part of your eye and then the two like white parts of the eyes. So my outer corner, I basically will take the color just to the colored part of my eye and then kind of go along with that. So the center part will be the colored and then inner part is just the other kind of white part. I think that's just a really simple way, and at least works for my brain when I want to apply shadow, and I'm like, how am I gonna do this? Now that we basically have that laid down, I am actually going to take that same shade and I just want to extend it just to that center part, just to add a bit more depth. So once I have that to my liking, we're gonna go ahead and take Quiet Wake, which is the next lightest blue color. I'm gonna do pretty simple as I've been doing with some of my looks, so I'm kind of just playing with this whole little row here. I know I have talked about that before, but it's something that I find super easy for one with this palette, especially because if you do have both, you have the option of using like kind of any shimmer you want, which is like, I love, like it really just makes it flexible. I'm just gonna start and I'm basically taking this shade and I'm just gonna take it all around everything. And then on the bottom lash line, I'm just gonna cover that colored part of the eye. And then lastly, for the matte Cool Current, and I'm actually taking this, I really wish that more brands had brushes like this. It's like a fluffy brush, but it's like difficult to explain, but it's so like, I like that it's small, but it's so fluffy. I feel like it's just really helpful for blending. And I'm basically gonna do the exact same thing. I am also taking it into the inner corner of the eye. And just like that, mattes are laid down. Seriously, so easy. Okay, where's my other palette? Dipping in to the Aurora Cruise, nice shimmer palette. Really just focusing, like I said, on the pinks. God, my lighting. Oof. Need to get that figured out eventually. But I'm gonna go ahead and take first off Aurora Gleam. And my favorite way so far to apply these has been with the finger. I'm sure you can use a brush, I just haven't really done it. I did do one with the highlighter, which we will be playing with today. I'm so excited. I still can't get over how pretty all of these like shimmer shades are, especially for the price point. I still, I don't know. I feel like we're so lucky with this palette. I literally love it so much. Okay, we're gonna take Summer Spritz. This is like a really hot pink, and I really want to focus that mainly into the center. I think what I really love about this palette too is that this is going to transition so well into like spring, summer, like hello. This screams summer to me. Mermaid's Tail, the shade directly above, just kind of a softer pink. I think something I love too about a lot of these shimmers is that they kind of are duochrome-esque. Like, I don't know if you can see, you probably can't, but like when I apply it to the inner corner, I'm definitely getting like some teal, some blue, but it still works really well with the pink because obviously it is like within that same family. But just like that, I mean, that's so pretty. I am, because I do want Summer Spritz, that hot pink, to be our main shade, I am just going to take a bit more, again, on my finger and just dabbing that between the two so that we really get that hot pink vibe. Alright, so mascara is applied. Let's go in with the highlighter. So this is the Sunrise Cruise. This is your more kind of purpley-ish one. It's so pretty. I wish my camera could pick it better on it, but at least sideways you can go to see. I'm mainly going to focus on the lighter quadrant first because I'm going to actually use this as a brow bone highlighter. Where is the brush? Here it is. So I am picking this one up with a brush, and I'm just going to focus this under the brow bone. And it is seriously just so pretty. I don't know what part of the video, but I pre-filmed. So I played with the gold one yesterday, and I seriously am obsessed. I really am loving both of these. This one for me is definitely gonna be my vibe if I want a more, I feel, colorful, you know, bright, or not even bright, but just like, you know, cause it's purple, it's pink, you know, kind of vibe. So it's, I guess, maybe not the most natural. I mean, I guess maybe it is though, because my skin is more like pinky. But this one, hello. I really can get a good mixture with these two, and it really just gave such like this beautiful glow to the skin that I literally am just obsessed. Okay, let's go ahead and apply some highlighter to the actual face. Here we go. So I'm just taking just a pretty standard fluffy kind of highlighter brush. So I think I'm gonna kind of go between the two. I mean, you can do all three, it really doesn't matter. And I'm just going to apply. Something that I really do like about these is that you definitely can layer them up to get it to be stronger, but you also can keep it nice and, I wouldn't say sheer, but like softer if you don't want to go like crazy with it, but you definitely can. I really hope you can see. I definitely think you can see at least some sort of a shine from it, and I really love that. It gives like this really healthy kind of glow. I do like to take a brush though over it. This is the brush I use for my foundation. Just along the edges, I could be like losing it, but I feel like for me, it kind of helps it to blend in more, so it's not just like a bunch of highlighter, and I think it just softly and elegantly blends in. I feel like this collection came out at such a perfect time because I really feel like we are going to be set for summer. Like, I'm sure there will still be other collections, don't get me wrong, but like I can see myself using this for a while, and I really do like that. I'm really so impressed with this collection. So pretty. So pretty. And that is the end of today's video. Please let me know what you think. Are you gonna pick this up? Did you already pick it up? Have they given you some inspiration? Please check out my shorts if you want to see some more inspo. I do have multiple other looks. I will definitely be continuing to play with this palette as well in the future, so I'm so excited. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please subscribe if you did enjoy this, and I will see you on my next one. Okay, bye!